meet up with them.
Yes.
All right, we will go ahead and get started and call to order the Tuesday, March 24th, City Solon regular council meeting. That will start the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, Harwinger, here, Gordon, Kramer, here, Mackey, here, Morris.
Yes, here.
Our civility pledge, we pledge to promote civility by listening, being respectful of others, and acknowledging that we are all striving to support and improve our community. We look to protect and improve our agenda. Any changes to the agenda tonight, Cam?
I didn't hear from Supervisor Sullivan, so I'm not sure. And he's not on yet, so I'll let you know if he does jump on.
That we have motion to perfect and improve the agenda.
So moved. Second.
All right, motion by Morris, second by Gordon, Harwinger,
Yes.
Gordon, Kramer,
Yes.
Mackey,
Yes.
Morris.
Yes.
All right, that takes us to citizen speak. This is time for anybody that would like to speak on this evening, with the exception of our event applications. That takes us to item 7, consent agenda. So this would be the approval of the minutes from the March 4th regular meeting, approval of the list of bills, treasurer's reports and transfers, building permits that Susie has sent out, and then we have 3 different event applications. We have the Optimist of Solon Easter egg hunt, the Spartan Dash, and Strides for CJV, the run and walk. Is there anybody from the Optimist Club this evening? That looked like everything is usual. It's been several years.
Same as every year, and then, Brody is aware of it, so there's nothing else scheduled on the field that day.
With the Spartan Dash, is there anything that you'd like to add this evening?
Nope, I'm just seeking approval from city council for, the annual Spartan Dash on April 25th, Saturday with Friday setup. Largest, fundraiser for PTOs and WCU and SAS schools.
Any questions on Spartan Dash? And the last one is Strides for CJV, run walk there.
I am here. I'm actually here on behalf of my cousin Hannah Grin. Her brother, she was a Bromwell. I don't know if any of you know the Bromwell family. Her brother AJ has the best way I can describe it, he has a terminal neurological disorder. It's very, very rare. I won't tell you the name of it because I can't pronounce it. There's no cure, and again, it's terminal. So he's 32, and it's a very degenerative, he's pretty much in a wheelchair now, but if you know AJ, he's in really good spirits. So their family would like to do, that's what this is, like a benefit run walk. And I think she submitted the application for Saturday, October 3rd. They're following the blueprint of what our family did when we did our benefit run walk in memory of my cousin Brett Smith, who passed away from leukemia when he was 19. So it will be very similar to that. We will stage at Randall Park if it's approved. There'll be a kids run walk, and then there'll be a 5K run walk. I think everything starts at 9, and then they're handling all of the registration, everything, I think, online. With the way that Solon is set up now, we don't need to close any roads because at every major intersection for what the route runs along, there's either stop sign or where participants have to cross. We don't have a need to shut down. So we don't need, it's not like weekdays where we'd have to have a deputy, there to stop traffic. We will have volunteers along the route, making sure participants are safe. If people need anything, that those people will be clearly marked. So we'll have manpower making sure that everyone participating is safe. They will sign a waiver. So we will follow the protocols for that. So the city won't be responsible for anything like that. But I believe they have a start time at 9. And then we should wrap, I think right now they're only figuring maybe 100 participants, but we will open it up to, you know, anyone in the Solon area or beyond can sign up to participate, so. And all the money will go to this foundation, the CJD, so it will be, we are not, you know, raising money for profit, it's for, you know, to go to that, so. If anybody has any questions, I'm happy to answer as much as I can, but that's the gist of it.
Do you need the shelter at Randall Park?
I think that's where they want to set up. And she had, I know Hannah, she just asked me to come because they live in Williamsburg. So I think she has been in talks with you guys about handling all that.
Any questions for? Definitely a great cause.
Would you say?
I said it's definitely a great cause. So.
Yeah, it's a sad thing. I mean, AJ's really young, if you know him, but he's such a. I call him a good kid, he's not a kid anymore, but yeah, but. Be a good thing for that day, so.
With that, do we have a motion?
Questions on bills? Did we check with anybody other than Advantage FS on fuel?
I have not checked with anybody yet, sorry.
Like, we need to do that, please. The Lawson products under first aid supplies, is that something we could also check with Town Crest Pharmacy or not?
We can
It's
check on
Greg's
that.
curiosity,
Yeah.
Tammy.
Yep, we can check on it.
The light window front entry system is after the new building.
Yes, it is.
And then on the U-line, new city hall supplies, was that figure included in the remodel room? Okay,
Yes.
thank you. I'm good, thanks.
All right, do we have a motion to consent the agenda?
Second.
All right, we're gonna go motion by Gordon, second by Kramer. Harley.
Yes.
Gordon.
Yeah.
Kramer.
Yes.
Mackey.
Yes.
Morris.
Yes.
All right. It takes us to item 8, the Public Works Superintendent's Report. I'll hand it over to the next. You're on.
Finished up some training this week. Brady and Matt are doing some water training. Nate and I will be heading to Des Moines for the spring APWA conference. Hopefully get started next week on bathrooms. I know there's been a lot of people asking about those with the nice weather. So we got a little bit of maintenance to do before we open them, but we're gonna try and start on that. Busy couple weeks moving to the new building, so I wanna say we're looking forward to it, but yeah, excited to do that, so,
Do you need extra hands?
no,
Okay.
thank you then.
Trucks or trailers?
Nope, we're good.
Thank you.
You'd be good.
We're going.
Maxwell started, last week on Wednesday, fixing some, like, storm intakes on like Raymond. They should be done either today or, sorry, by Thursday. So that should be done, open back up, started painting some like field down at the park for like soccer. And that's all I got.
First Street is, they're chlorinating the line right now, so Thursday they'll come back and flush that, and hopefully by beginning of next week, we'll be done with that project. Just we have to reseed everything. But we'll be ready for street to start over there when that's ready. We are hopefully going to start the water tower project early May. Long time waiting on that one. That's the last talk I got from Viking, is they're gonna be ready to set up in early May, and the water tower will be offline. Should be able to run everything out of the booster station with no disruptions to service. We've been meeting with the engineers on the new sewer plant, administrative building, and the lab area and the shop, and thank you. Thank you for letting that happen. But that's all I got.
Does it look like Rod is jumped on the
I just
call?
wanted to jump in and say that we got some. You know, we got some things to celebrate, Public Works, we have both Nate and Nate Speck and Chris Richardson, their wastewater 2 certification. That's great news. We have Nate Speck on his pool operator, which believe it or not, state of Iowa considers our splash pad a swimming pool. So you have to go through the whole swimming pool. And then, of course, today is Dave Richards' 12 years in the city of Sutton.
So that water have to be checked on every day. Is it every day, right? That's what I thought.
That will take us down to old business, item 10, ordinance 494, the alley vacation. This is the second reading. Any changes from the first reading? Any questions or discussion?
I'll move to approve ordinance, 494.
We'll go motion by Barlinger, second by Gordon. Barlinger,
Yes.
Gordon, Kramer,
Yeah.
Mackey,
Yes.
Morris.
Yes.
Takes item 11, ordinance 495, the code of ordinances of the city of Solon, Iowa. Second reading, any changes from the first reading on
No
that?
change.
Any questions or discussion? We have a motion for the second reading.
I'll move to approve ordinance 495. Second.
Motion by Barlinger, second by Kramer. Barlinger,
Yes.
Gordon,
Yeah.
Kramer,
Yeah.
Mackey,
Yes.
Morris.
Yes.
Takes us to new business, the equipment purchase. So this is council discussion and possible action on capital equipment purchase for the replacement of the street sweeper. Chris or Ryan?
Yeah, so I've been talking to a few like companies. When I started this process, I didn't realize how much one is used. They're up there. Anyway, through my talks with a few companies, we found one with McQueen in Aiken. We actually bought ours like from them, when we did. Ours is a year 2000. So, the one we are looking to get is much newer. Should last, probably 15, 20 years. So with them, they will take ours on trade. They were the pretty much only company that would, which is good. And what they do is when they bring in, when they take in a like trade, like ours is, they go through a 75-point inspection. So pretty much anything that is broken or is in need of fixing, they will fix it before it will like leave the shop. So, so when it shows up here, it is road, like ready. And, we can start like sweep it. We both went up there mid-February, looked at it, very nice. And it will meet what we would need. So I would, I would recommend like going like this route. There's a 30-day like warranty, so if something breaks, they will cover it. And they will do, like training too, so.
I'm short.
That was my,
A 30-day warranty seems ridiculous.
for $90,000 expense.
Yeah.
That's what they do.
Used equipment.
Yeah,
The one we have right now has been a maintenance nightmare, correct?
here lately, yes.
But it's 26 years old.
No, I'm not saying, that. I think it was issues, if I remember, from day one.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. I agree with Mr. Gordon that spending that kind of money that's the first thing jumped out at me when I looked at all that.
Yep.
I understand they checked all the boxes, they're gonna fix everything when
Yep.
we get it. My other question is, when that thing breaks, cause it will, it's equipment, it's gonna happen. They come from Ankeny to fix it, is
Yeah.
that are we paying mileage time and all that stuff to fix it?
That I do not.
The only reason why I bring that up, because if it, this is gonna happen, a $20 fix is gonna cost us $500.
Right. Well, theoretically, it's $20 fix, we're fixing ourselves. We
No,
don't, we don't call them unless we have to.
No, I know what you're saying, I get it. But my disappointment in it is the lack of warranty.
I mean, like fixing the AC unit is one of the things that they check they're gonna fix. Is that filling it with refrigerant? It's got a slow leak, or is that replacing the unit? That,
It's used equipment, so, I mean. You know, who's to say? We're not there watching them fix it, so this is,
can that be negotiated? Can you ask?
the
them
length
to-
of time for the warranty or specifically the air conditioner?
Some of the bigger things that it would be an ongoing problem, like if there was a refrigerant leak and they're just fixing it for now kind of thing. Versus replacing the systems
Yeah.
that would, yeah, I guess there's a lot of fixes on here. That I'd like to know what the fix was, I guess, for just a $90,000 price tag.
Well, do you guys think it's reasonable? Cause I have no idea, other than I looked at like he has, looked at the boxes that were checked. Then, I'll be honest with you, the thing that jumped out at me was a 30-day warranty, that must be common?
Yeah, that doesn't
Yeah,
bother me
that's
at all,
common.
but
We looked at two other ones,
Mm-hmm.
a 13 and a 14. And those were pretty much buy them as is
Lots of luck.
and hope for the best.
Um,
That seems like standard practice with these.
Was there an extended warranty option that they have at all?
They didn't mention anything.
With equipment like this, is there a maintenance log of like past breakdowns, what's been replaced, like?
it
they call it
depends on where they got
Carfax?
it from. They might have a maintenance log.
And once,
do they disclose where they got it from? So you
Oh,
can
yeah.
ask them
Yeah.
how, like, why they got rid of it, or
They got a new one.
Yeah.
I believe they came from
That,
Johnston.
I think that one's Jonathan.
I think it came from Johnson, so. The ones over there on I would imagine they're on a 10-year rotation, so.
Lucky would be that sure. Well, I have no idea, how many times a year do you use it? Does it depend on what's going on?
All depends on manpower and when we can do it.
Okay,
So,
The idea with this one is creating a comprehensive plan that we can stick to monthly,
sure,
watering out the town, you know,
yeah,
the problem is every time we try to use the last one, it makes it 2 blocks and then there's the phone
yeah,
call,
that's no good.
fixing hoses, you know, whatnot. So the good thing is they're going through, they're replacing all the hydraulic hoses. The grease points on this are about a third of what they used to be, so it's less moving parts that are gonna
Sure.
break because of the grease, so. From the machines that we looked at on this one, with them not doing anything. This is really, I'd say they're doing more than anybody else
Sure.
would. So we can talk to them about the 30-day warranty, ask, you know, some more questions about,
Yeah.
you know, specific maintenance things, but, with used equipment, it's,
So is this also something that you asked them to come out once a year and look at it? Go through it bumper to bumper to make sure we catch something, or you just don't worry about that?
we inspected ourselves, so.
Yep, okay.
And that, you're gonna have that on your new system, right? Cause you got that new system that,
Oh, yeah,
that you're
we-
getting that's gonna
We're planning on
have.
tracking all of our maintenance, it's gonna, you know,
Yeah, I didn't know if that's something that, because of it's a specific piece of equipment that you guys would prefer to have somebody come out, check it.
it's got a John Deere diesel engine.
Sure.
Just like this, it's almost the exact same engine, so we know how to service the engine, grease it.
Sure.
Fix hydraulic stuff, it's just like the brake system is something that we don't
Yeah,
really have the capacity.
I
The problem we had with this one is the brake system, so.
you're seeing, it's a similar system, or the design is what we have now. Seen somewhere it's like almost a truck with a flatbed. I've seen Pelican ones as well. Does this better fit our needs than one where it's a truck where maybe there's less training or stuff to operate the truck versus a style like this?
So the reason we like this one other than the truck one is because we have a very tight downtown here and we're, primarily, we're gonna wanna make sure we're using it there, getting around the bump outs. With the truck one, it's a little harder. The truck one, I would say is probably gonna be more expensive up front. It also is generally a different style as the recumbent air. So whereas this is just the brush and the water and everything, the recumbent air it doesn't clean the street so much as it just sucks up the loose. So it's, they're similar, but they're different systems, so we like the fact that this will actually, got construction going on and they get dirt all over the road, we can actually go out there and clean it up without multiple pieces of equipment, so we looked at both. They have a recumbent air that we looked at too, and then maintenance wise, it looked like a nightmare.
Okay, not that we'd ever think about it, but what's a new one cost? $250,000. Higher than that,
Yep,
really?
about 350.
Ooh.
Yep. I'll definitely can ask more questions, it's not a problem.
It definitely feels like you guys have done your homework, so I appreciate this, the legwork that you've done to figure it out, and I feel, if you feel this is the right one for us, I definitely trust your judgment, trust the research that you've done, everything like that, knowing that you watch your budget closely and what would be best for you guys, so that's just kind of my stance.
Are these guys waiting on us right now?
I mean, yes and no, they like to move on it, start fixing stuff. If we wanna go this route.
Yeah, no,
We got time to ask questions.
yeah, my thought is this, it's something that's needed, I get it, understand it, I think it's a good purchase. I'd be willing to say yes right now, if you guys are willing to check about an extended warranty. Now, if you don't think we need that, personally, I'll trust you on that. And I would tell you, if we do it, we better use the hell of it the first 30 days. Hard.
What kind of
Hard.
extended warranty would you look?
Yeah, what,
I'm gonna rely on you guys. They would have an idea, I would think, and they may look at you and laugh and say, all right, who's the city councilor to ask? Give my phone number, I'll say, all right, I'm the bozo that asked the question, right?
yep,
I'll be honest with you guys, much like Tim, I looked at the $90,000 price tag and looked at 30 days and thought, are you kidding me? It's an oddity, I guess, in my mind.
Well, can anybody else look at it to make sure it's the condition that they're saying?
So,
They're a used car dealer, basically.
well, they're a Pelican dealer, and that's the other thing, so the other ones that we looked at, they weren't Pelican dealers either, that's why they don't work on them.
So they're a Pelican dealer, is it like certified Chevy used? Can they certify that everything is?
I mean, that's what their 75-point inspection is.
Okay,
I mean, if it breaks down, we're calling them because they're the Pelican dealers, so. Well, regardless, 5 years from now, if it's something that we.
yeah.
I mean,
Well, it could be one of those things where they may not work on it if they're not.
I guess, from here with it, are we all right moving forward with it, knowing that we'll ask are there other options for extended warranty on it? If I would assume extended warranty would come with the price tag
Yeah.
on that,
okay.
but is it something where, are we okay with it as is, knowing that we'll ask those questions, and if there is extended warranty options, that an extended warranty comes back for approval?
Yeah, this is already in the budget, right?
I was gonna say, we have a meeting next week, so it's either way, you can either vote to approve with that. Or we can push this back one more week.
My concern is someone doesn't come in and buy it from underneath us, it sounds like you guys have looked at it, you're comfortable with it, everything's okay.
They already have ours full essentially.
yeah, it's anyway, ours is sold, so whenever they get it, they've got somebody that like wants it.
I'm in favor of now, trusting them, the week from now, tell us what it's gonna be. 100%, I'd rather get it, and then otherwise, 350,000, that's something. How many times do you guys think you use it? Or does it just depend on what's going on in
how
town?
many times are we gonna, or?
Yeah, no, let me back up. How many times would you like to use it?
Yeah, it'd be nice to do it once a month.
Sure, okay, that's all I needed here.
But yeah,
That sounds like a motion, is that a motion?
I moved that we buy it, it's within the budget. Our kind and courteous staff is gonna look into a couple questions that we have, and I'm sure we'll hear from them next week with a very, very detailed report. As they laugh at me, that's okay.
I was thinking he's gonna fill out the report, so.
So we have a motion by Morris, do we have?
Second,
Second by Farlinger,
yes.
Gordon, Kramer,
Yeah.
Mackey.
Don't break it. Yes.
30 days, don't forget, boys.
If you,
Yeah.
yeah.
Sorry, Mr. Mayor, yes.
All right, that takes us to item 13, the Main Street Sanitary Sewer Project.
Yeah, we have both Dave Schekinger on Zoom and Dave Richards here that have been working on that. Dave Richards, do you want to give the summary and chime in?
Sure. So this is, part of that, North Market Street project with the new building remodel over here. Where we talked about the manhole and that whole area needing to be redone. So what this is for is to pothole along Highway 1, kind of from El Sol in that alley area there to get an actual elevation of El Sol's sewer line to see if it's even feasible to go down the alley with gravity, and if they need to put in a lift station or something, you know, it's kind of give them an idea of what this could cost. So that's what that's for, and it all connects with that whole corner manhole sewer further across the street, all that. And then that, if we do connect to the alley, then that would get rid of the one underneath Highway 1, which is pretty much done.
Yeah, thank you. The, that alley sewer project, El Sol wasn't invited to partake in that because their line went across Highway 1 and it just was complicated, quite frankly. So now, because that North Market Square project has identified that there is a potential issue with their line. And we mentioned this at a few meetings ago, we're just trying to investigate whether it's even an option for them to hook up to that sewer line, that new sewer line that was put behind there. And so it's part of that investigative process. Did we miss anything, Dave Schekinger?
No, I would say the reason we're doing this is that we don't have enough information at the point where we need to connect to determine the elevation. We have an endpoint at the manhole at Market, and we also have a clean out, but we can't get a firm elevation because of the construction of that clean out. We can get an estimate, and that memo that I put together shows that if we're 6 inches one way or the other, that makes it or breaks it as far as being able to make that connect and flow according to plumbing code requirements for the slope on the line. So if we want to look at this as an option to get that sanitary sewer service out from under Highway 1 and get it put back on that other line, we really need to get a good elevation to identify if we can get that to fall from that point where we want to connect it to Highway 1 back to that sewer that we put in as part of the alley sewer. So right now we just don't have a firm elevation. We have an estimate, and as shown in that memo, a little bit of an adjustment up or down has a significant impact on whether we can make that work or not. This doesn't connect. This only gets us the information to make the determination whether it's feasible or not.
Dave, if it's not feasible, what's the recourse?
There are two options. One is we can leave the service line as it is, make sure that El Sol is aware of the issue. We might have a small repair up at Market Square, depending upon what they identify when they dig that up. And if we can determine if there was an impact to that service as part of the water line installation, and that's what caused the damage, then that might shift the burden on us. If that doesn't appear to be what caused it and it was just disrepair, and that's part of El Sol's service line, they would have a decision to make on whether to fix that or to install a lift station, a small pump in the basement of their facility to pump that sewage up and be able to get it to flow over to that alley sewer line so that everything is again out of the Highway 1 right of way.
In summary, we have to do due diligence to figure out if this is really our problem or not. And if it is, then we have to move toward it. If it's not, then we would approach El Sol with similar to what we did the other Main Street businesses and offered them to hook up for the same cost that the other businesses were charged, which was, I believe, $1,400. Is that right? Or $2,800.
Yeah.
Now, had North Market Square not been doing their work, we may not have known this, but now it's a known issue that we need to investigate further.
Feels like it's the right thing to do is to investigate to see what the options are.
Think it's been in the long run,
Yeah.
right? I mean, that's where we're at.
And if it's, I mean, if it's something that's on us, then it's on us, and if it's something that's on them, then we, you know, we got an option where it's still probably gonna be cost effective for them.
We'll save headaches in the future too, if it's on them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Then we got send a raise.
And while you were the same council who worked on that project, the philosophy was the Solon businesses are important to Solon.
Yeah.
And, working sewers are important to those businesses, so it was deemed, by previous councils that it's a worthy investigation. When we did the investigation with those businesses as well, to just figure out what's best. We know that it's an aging sewer system. And those connections were, needed to be addressed.
Yes.
Is, I think, well, yeah.
I'm good.
I'll move to go forward with the Main Street sanitary sewer project.
Second. Motion by Farlinger, second by Kramer. Farlinger,
Yes.
Gordon? Oh, was it Matt?
It doesn't matter.
Oh, second. This is second
By Matt.
Thanks, Gordon.
You're welcome.
Gordon?
Yeah.
Kramer?
Yeah.
Mac?
Yes.
Morris?
Yes.
Sorry, Matt.
I love moving that to say something.
Thanks, Tim.
I was trying to go up for you. It takes us to item 14, resolution 2611, Iowa Municipal Professionals Institute Scholarship.
And this
Yep.
resolution is part of a training that city clerks and finance clerks take. They offer 3 trainings throughout the year and then with the goal to get certified over time. This particular session will happen in June. We have a new finance clerk, Amy Randall, plans to attend several sessions this summer, and they're offering a scholarship for new staff to offset some of the costs. This is not for the hotel costs, this is just for the training itself. And so to apply for that scholarship, they require a resolution by the city council. And so that's basically what the resolution says, is that this is a request to help offset those costs. Classes are about $60 a class, but it's several classes over about 4 days. And it doesn't offset any kind of hotel and travel expenses or food expenses, just the cost of the classes themselves. This is an institute that I attended, that Susie attended. It's been around for a long, long time. And not that we're old by any means, but it is the elite training that they offer for city clerks and finance clerks. Also, it is hosted by the Iowa State Extension, so it's located in Ames.
Well, really appreciate looking for opportunities to help save money for the city with such as this, and I think it's a great thing. Are there any questions or comments?
No, I think. Go ahead, John. I was gonna say, I think
Is
it's
this,
great.
is this training that's required by Iowa law to hold your position?
It's not.
That's it.
I'll move to approve resolution 2611.
Second.
Motion by Farlinger, second by Gordon. Farlinger?
Yes.
Gordon?
Yeah.
Kramer?
Yeah.
Matthew?
Yep.
Morris?
Yes.
Takes us to item 15, resolution 2612, city hall relocation. Again.
This resolution is just providing, official notice to the public that City Hall will be relocating to 100 South Cedar Street. We're going to, begin that process next week on Monday. So City Hall will be closed. This building will close on Monday, and then City Hall will reopen April 13th in the new location. There will be a council meeting, actually two council meetings, a special meeting on April 1st, which is the property tax levy meeting at 5 o'clock, and then the regular meeting at 5:30 on April 1st. Both those meetings will be held at the new location, the lower level of the new location. We will be posting signs tomorrow at this location on Facebook, letting folks know. While the office will be closed, we will still be answering emails and phone calls as we can. Then we will be down without internet and computers for 2 to 3 days. But know that we'll, as soon as we have access to computers and internet and phones again, that we will be staying in touch with the public and keeping things flowing as best we can during the transition. In 2014, we moved from the old City Hall to here, and it took about a week, and it was a pretty intense week. We have more stuff to move, and we thought we just really needed 2 weeks to really make sure we have time to get over and get settled. Priority is moving internet and all of our IT, and that is happening first. And then everything, all the stuff can come after that. So it's really just intended to give the public notice of what they can expect in the move transition.
Thank you for all the legwork that's gotten us to this point. We know that for the
It's been a
next few
team
weeks,
effort.
there will be a lot more as well. So thank you guys all, everybody, in advance for the work to come, and very sincere thank you for the work that's gotten us to this point. It's a big move for us. Are there any questions?
I have a few things, Dan, and this is because this predates my time on the council, so if I ask some questions, just help me understand it, okay? So what's the reason why we needed to move City Hall?
Yeah, sorry. This one, we really outgrown this space. With it, we were using the old fire station for storage, which we know with all properties that we have that we're trying to market that to sell as well. The conference room that we have in the back couldn't be used as a conference room because it was storage. As our finance officer moved on, we went with a finance clerk. When we hired Amy, we moved her out with Susie, and the previous office for finance was storage. It's just we've outgrown this building. This will allow us to roughly double our square footage that we have at a much lower price tag than what building something here would be.
My question with the storage then, what are we storing from City Hall, right? I get the public works guys storing the snowplows and everything, but what's generating space in this environment that is causing us to store it over there? Is it old files that we have to keep a certain amount of records laws on for? But that shouldn't be growing, right? Because if it's my understanding, right, we spent a bunch of money in digital storage stuff, so that way we didn't have to keep old filing cabinets and old records, so we spent a lot of money on digital storage, so that shouldn't be amassing, is it?
But it depends. So there's some things that we have to keep
Yep, I completely
for a certain
understand.
amount of years. Yeah,
Yeah.
and there's some things we want to keep.
Okay,
And a lot of that is associated with buildings and plans. We have all the building permits on file, and we do have a laserfish process that we do for council minutes and things like that, but we still keep minute books. Most of that storage is going to be processed before we move. So I think while storage is part of it, I also, and from my perspective, felt that the city council had a decision whether to keep the building next door to grow into or not. And they chose not. And so I think that's kind of what spurred if the building, they're not keeping the building next door to grow into, then this isn't a good long-term location.
I think part of the decision too was that where we're at now, with the staff we're at, we're pretty full in here. And as we continue to grow as a community, we're gonna need the space and with having the opportunity to buy that property in the past and the amount of cost that had gone up by the time we need more space as well, that cost would also go up significantly as well.
But, and part of that is just as we've grown, the structure has changed. If you look even within our public works, where it's at the public works office, there's one computer, one desk. We have 3 superintendents, and if they all need to use the computer and the desk at the same time, they can't with that. So between that, with Parks and Rec, just having meeting space available is, we have had meetings in here and we've made it work. But having designated conference rooms where we could have meetings and staff meetings and things like that. It's just as we continue to grow, when the decision was made to purchase that building, it just felt like the right decision.
Right, and then this was a previous council decision, and I'm not knocking anybody who was here for it. I respectfully disagree. I think there's some other things that we could have spitballed, whether that be a locked secured storage unit for the extra stuff. I don't think right now at this time we have enough city employees to really justify square footage space. I think there were bigger needs, like such as the public works building, and they're jam packed over there. I think that they had more of an urgent need. These are just my opinions, right? And that's kind of where it didn't make much sense in my head as a constituent at that time that purchase was made. So that's just kind of where I fall with it. But yeah, we can agree to disagree. So, but
Any other questions? That we have a motion for resolution 2612.
All motion to approve 2612.
Second.
All right, motion by Farlinger, second by Kramer. Farlinger.
Yes.
Gordon.
Yes.
Kramer.
Yes.
Mackey.
no,
Morris.
Yes.
Takes us to item 16, resolution 2613, Public Works Department positions and wages. And before I kick it over to you, I just want to say the personnel committee met weeks ago with the superintendents and with Nate, our kind of core 4 from who was here when we were down to just 4 employees right about a year ago with that. And one of the things that I just want to talk through before I send it over to Cami on this is that when we talked about the reorg of the department, I know it wasn't popular. We had great conversations with it. I just want to say that with the 3 of you and Nate, thank you for having trust in us and for sticking with us. I feel like there has been a lot of growth in everybody on staff, been growth in culture. It's the amount of work and how you've been the glue to keep everything together. I have the utmost respect for everything that you guys have done. And please relay this to Nate too, when he's seen at the shop in the morning with it. But I think the conversation that we had with the personnel committee a few weeks ago, was very impactful, and very just appreciative of your openness and honesty with kind of what you thought a year ago versus what you think now. And again, just cannot say thank you enough for having trust in us and getting through a tough time. And I feel like we are in a much better spot today than we were a year ago. And that's because of the work, the dedication, the training, the response, everything that you guys have taken on. So just again, a huge thank you for having trust in us and sticking with us to get to where we're at, because it is night and day different than where we were a year ago, and how we've split up duties, and hopefully it feels like you're all empowered to make decisions and everything like that. So thank you is really what I want to say before I hand it over to Cam.
Well, thank you for giving us the opportunity.
Thank you.
And Shine they have. So the personnel committee has met twice this month. Once just to kind of bring them up to speed since all this happened, before a lot of this happened before January 1st, and just to kind of, so they could kind of understand what the plan was, last year and how we kind of got to this point. And then to meet with, you know, our core four, as Dane mentioned, to get their input on what a plan going forward could look like. And so the plan that was discussed was to maintain this current structure going forward, at least for a few years until we know that when the new sewer plant gets close to operational, that there's gonna be a shift of duties. That's gonna take more people to operate that plant on a daily basis. And so because the superintendent position was a new position last May, and the desire is to stay in this format, we needed to formalize that as a job description, which we have. There was also a desire to create some safety coordinator duties separate from the four of them and me, and so that was created to kind of help, you know, disperse responsibilities and duties. And the superintendent position also created a deputy director of public works opportunity, which Dave Richards has been serving in that role, and this would formalize that. And then there's also some wage adjustments associated with the new, I'm gonna say it, the new format, which is just a continuation of the current format. That includes creating a salary band for the public superintendent, which currently does not exist. All the positions in the within the city have a salary band. And then it also has some additional wages specific to the deputy public works director. That equals out to $1.20 hourly. The safety coordinator comes out to $1.06 hourly. And in addition, the three public works superintendents and the utility specialist, 2 bonuses to be received in May and in July, 2 different fiscal years, really to acknowledge the work that Dan just spoke of, their willingness to jump in and tackle a big job, learn a lot, have to step up and take roles and learn a lot of new things in the last year. And not only their willingness to you know, tread into a lot of unknown area, but their willingness to stay and still be here and to excel in the training that they've been taking these last few months. And that just shows their commitment to the city of Solon and to the Solon community. And that's Matt. Yeah, I mean, Matt and Greg, I don't wanna say everything, so feel free to jump in.
No, I think it's well deserved.
Yeah, we had two good meetings. One of the things, the counselors, we've asked Kenny to look into some ways that we can protect the city a little bit, because we are spending some pretty good dollars training people right now, which is important. The city's got around, we got people that know what they're doing, certified, ready to go, but what we don't want to do is train people and then have somebody come and swoop them. So we're working on some ways to try and protect ourselves a little bit over the course of time, so we can keep our people.
Thank you. Matt, you wanna? I think you covered it.
First thing, I mean, right, Matt, I mean, we're working on that, to try and protect ourselves.
Yep.
Too.
So, and that's that'll be key going forward.
Yeah,
I think
I agree.
we'd like to see, so. I would, yes, for motion.
I think that's the same thing that we kind of talked about, when I was on the personnel committee with, Counselor Whitehead in the past, is when we did a wage adjustment, was it 2 years ago? We had a lot of, employees that we didn't feel, Kami did a tremendous amount of, legwork to connect with other communities that were our size to make sure that we had our staff on the same page as the communities around the state that were within the same vicinities of Solon to bigger communities and the same size as us. And so that I think it's something that I think we have to do.
And Tim, any thoughts or comments, questions?
Nailed
With that, do we have a motion for resolution 2613?
I'm.
All right, so we got, motion by Mackey, second by Morris, sounds like, Farlinger,
Yeah.
Gordon,
Yeah.
Kramer,
Yeah.
Mackey,
Yes.
Morris.
Yes.
Takes us down to other business, council committees. Yeah.
Just wanted to, under Streets Committee, just wanted to let everybody know that, we have, implemented the sidewalk inspection program. Ryan has done all the inspections, letters have been out. How that works is that we talked about that at the last Streets Committee's meeting, that is an annual process. We section the town off into 5 sections, and then letters go out. Well, inspections done, letters go out. People have an opportunity to fix it themselves, or the city will replace it at the end of summer for a set fee that is disclosed in the letter. And it's a way to, one, keep all the sidewalks in good shape. And so that is underway. So if you get any questions from anybody about their sidewalk letters, just ask them to check in at City Hall and we'll help them out. I have 2 utility forgiveness requests that are gonna be coming to the Utilities Committee, so keep looking out for those. Finance Committee did some review on some recent CDs, so that have been renewed with Hills Bank. Gonna be looking at the purchasing policy, which they have and they're reviewing, which was started by the previous Finance Committee. And also we are working on a community update on the new sewer rates that are going to be going into place. So, Finance Committee has been busy, and then Personnel, of course, has been busy with both the Public Works stuff and also the Library Director Hiring Committee. And Buildings and Needs, we're still working on the RFP, which we'll get that out to the building and needs.
So my RFP for the city property came in,
For the city
Okay.
property, yes. This is for sale now, but there's gonna be an RFP for that building and an RFP.
Yes.
Yep. Okay, nothing with police committee right now. City school, the 2080 draft. We are in the process of getting comments from everyone right now on the latest version from the school. And then Kevin Olson has another meeting conflict tonight. However, he is working on the community center options. There's some legal options as far as that has to be navigated that he's working on, and then also the friendship agreement. So that is.
Thank you for all those updates. Takes us to item 18, city clerk report, Susan. Item 19, city administrator comments, Kim.
No comments?
Item 20, council comments.
What's that? Sorry.
Council comments.
Oh, I know what I'm saying. I missed that. I was right there. What'd you say before that?
City administrator comments, and then council
Oh,
comments. If you have anything you want.
Yeah, Cam, I was just like, a quick question about you said Kevin was working on the, community center stuff and that kind of sparked an idea. Do we have anybody, in your office or anybody that does like grant writing? Or been a grant? Okay, I didn't know if I'm sure you've explored that. I just popped in my head because that's what we used to do for the police department all the time. But, I would just like to say, thanks to Dave. I did a public works tour of our sewage treatment plant. We didn't get quite through it because I had some other things I had to run on, so I'm planning on picking that back up. But thank you for taking the time and to go along with what we just passed. If you've never been down to the sewage treatment plant to see what these guys have to do, we're not paying them enough. So thank you, Dave. Thanks for taking the time. And then Liz, this is probably gonna be the last city council meeting right before you go. So as a part of the library committee that I'm gonna be more involved with now that spring break and things have slowed down, I just want to say thank you again for your service to the city and you'll be missed. Thank you.
Council comments.
Yeah, I'd just like to mention that, Scott Clumpy and his family are certainly in my thoughts.
Thank you, Liz, for all you've done, like, being on that
committee that when you first got here, we were very happy to have you with us and have enjoyed the time you've been here.
I'll go, item 21, mayor comments. They beat me to it. Liz, this is your last meeting, so wanted to make sure that you'd be at this meeting at the last meeting, say a few things. I remember meeting you on Zoom during COVID. We went over a lot of this at your 5 years, so thank you for the 5 years that you gave the city. I know that it's been a sacrifice for you, personally with your family life over the last year. So, with that, so thank you for everything you've done for us. I hope you nothing, or wish you nothing but the best in success in Minnesota as you go there, and we'll get some much needed and well deserved family time as you do that. So thank you for everything that you've done for us as you close in on your final week here. Greg also mentioned with Stat, there's the announcement that went out with Stat's health on there. It's definitely thought the prayers with Stat, Tina, and their family. So just if everybody just think of them during this time. It's very sad news with it. Stat left a legacy here with the city with his decades of service here. So it's definitely sad news with it, thinking of them. I think the world of Scott. And then Matt, kind of on your comment of, well, the grant writings, Cami and I talked last week when we postponed the meeting, but she was able to submit an application on that. I connected with the finance committee that it's a federal grant that Cami met with the Miller Meeks team, and that we have submitted an application that will hopefully, if approved or granted, we'll get $1 million, or up to $1 million for our wastewater treatment plant. But with that, so it's not going to pay for it at all, but it's every little bit helps. And just kind of going back to a lot of comments that Greg has made at past meetings is, what can we do to show, are we turning over every rock that we can? And so we weren't able to discuss the application across the full council. But after connecting the finance committee and they said, yes, let's definitely turn this in and see what we can get. If we aren't granted this grant for some reason, we can still apply a year from now because we'll still be in the process with it. But again, just kudos, Cami, to you and your work with the Miller Meeks team on looking for opportunities, and appreciate just the networking that you've done to try to find ways to just continue to promote Solon and try to draw attention, and how can we get some grants that will help us out financially as well. With that, do we have a motion to adjourn? Second. Motion by Gordon, second by Morris. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Meeting is adjourned.